Good job. So, how are things? All right?
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Have you been here at all before, or is this the first time?
No, it's my first time.
Good job. You love this.
So go as fast as you can.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll give you the full experience. Don't you worry about that.
David, you're a hot lap driver.
Excellent. So, let's go and have a little wander around here. Marvellous. Have you travelled far today, or are you fairly local
London.
to?
North
Okay.
London.
Not too bad then, eh?
Ah, that's alright.
Traffic's usually not too bad on a Sunday. That's something that's.
Well, we came last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we stayed at the
At the
The
hotel?
hotel, yeah.
It's quite nice, isn't it? The hotel.
Yeah,
It's
lovely. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that at all, to be honest.
yeah, it's. They've done a really lovely job, and it's quite a new hotel as well, and it's great for packages with driving and people staying over on the weekend, spa packages, that kind of thing. But also during the week, a lot of delegates come, you know, and they can stay there, have their conference at MB World and whatnot.
Okay.
So it's really tied in really well. So
Yeah, there was a wedding there last night as well.
was
wedding
it?
reception, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's quite busy then, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you've had a good look around the building and see some of all the displays, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some great cars in there, aren't there? You know,
Beautiful.
absolutely glorious.
Well, the highlight for me were the Formula 1 cars, because I'm a massive Formula 1
Oh,
fan.
okay.
So yeah, seeing those cars,
The suspended one especially is quite a sight, isn't it?
it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So we'll just hang tight for a sec. We'll just wait for a few of these guys just to even themselves out, and then we'll
So is this what you
find
do all day? Just
Well, a lot of the time, actually, I'm in your seat, you know, and it's guests doing the driving, so it's quite nice to split that up with a little bit here, a little bit of off-road as well. So the whole package then works nice, you know. It keeps us fresh and plenty of variation. So this has been designed like a really good country road. So it's all about the smoothness on here. Just working with the car. That's it. Nice early brake, feel the weight transfer, balance the throttle, good look through the bend. As we unwind the lock, we can then blend in the gas. Makes a good noise, huh?
oh, beautiful.
Fantastic. And then full throttle here in the straight line. Gentle on the brakes, a little bit firmer. Again, all done in a gradual manner. So we're always working with what the car's got to offer. Settle down. Balancing it through again. Just being as clean with all the controls as we can, you know. So these are completely standard, these cars, incidentally. So there's nothing that have been adapted on these to make them more capable. They're that's it. Good job. There we got it. You can't beat that engine note, can you? A V8 engine. I think it's
Sounds great.
unique.
I could hear it from the hotel room. We're staying in there.
Okay.
Especially as they come down the straight bit down
There was no way that you were going home then without having sampled a bit
there.
of it, eh?
Absolutely.
That's it, good job.
Oh, this is great.
That's it. Round we go, keeping it nice and tidy. Through we go again. Beautiful.
Clear track.
That's it, we've got a nice bit of space here. It's drying up nicely now as well. It's been nice to see a bit of sunshine today. You picked the right day to come down, eh? So it's a special occasion for the weekend away, or you just decided a bit of a break?
It was a belated Christmas present
Oh.
for my fiance.
Oh, fantastic. She didn't want to come out with us as well then? What do you drive from day to day?
Do you know what? Living in London, I actually sold my car because I didn't really.
Do you know, I'm
need
not
it.
surprised. I was a student in London, I was there for many years, and I hardly ever needed the car at all. And parking's a nightmare as well, isn't it? You know, so it's...
But the last car I had was an MR2, the Mark Ones.
Oh yeah, nice little car that.
Oh, it was lovely. Rear wheel
yeah,
drive. I
mid-engined as well.
spun it a few times.
Yes, the combination of a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car can be quite tricky. You know? When they go, they do go. That's it, round we go. Nice.
What speed are we hitting on the this straight?
Oh, I would imagine, to be honest, I've got my hands tied looking into the distance, but I would imagine we're in the region of about 90, somewhere in that region. You know? So, but for a short straight, then, you know, it gets to that speed remarkably fast, really. It really does. So, there we go. So have you done anything like this before? Have you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, even though I'm a massive motorsports fan, this is closest I've been to actually
Sure.
being in the race conditions.
Oh, okay. And have you gone to spectate at any race meeting?
Oh, yeah. The last one I went to was Monza 2012.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Formula One.
you're a proper fan then, so you'll travel around a little bit as well, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, Silverstone this year, definitely.
Yeah, have you been to Silverstone before?
No.
Oh, marvellous. Let's hope that the rain stays off. I don't think it was last year, it was the year before, wasn't it, where the rain just was dire and everybody got bogged in, and I knew some of the guys who were working there at that weekend, and they were saying to get into the site was a nightmare in itself because all the surrounding roads had clogged up and the rest of it. So, but it's a great venue, it really is. You'll have a great time there. You staying down there for a night or two?
No, we'll just probably travel on.
It's not too far. It's not too far.
Northampton's not that far.
No. Probably takes about an hour and a half from here, I would say. So next time you'll have to come and do all the driving.
Oh,
yes?
absolutely. Well, I was looking last night at Formula One driving experiences.
Yeah.
I found one. It was just over £1,500.
Yes.
And but you build it up.
Yeah.
I think there's 10 pace laps in a Ferrari, and then they build you up to Formula 3.
Where was this? In the UK or somewhere else?
Yeah, I think it's in the UK.
Oh, was it?
I
Okay.
only briefly saw the details, but yeah, eventually you'll work up to a Formula 1 for 10 laps.
Sure.
10 unpaced laps.
Sure. Seatbelt just pulled you in a little bit there. The car just thought you might need that, but does that from time to time. Nothing to worry about. It'll relax in a moment. There you go. You've got a bit more flex again now. So
that's really good, though. I didn't realise.
It's great. There's a lot of safety tech on this car, and we'll go into a bit more detail on that in a moment. Good job. Just going to have a little breather, shall we, and have a look at some other bits and bobs as well. Perfect. So let's go into our dynamic area. This is an area where we can really get a good idea of what all this technology is doing. So to begin with, what I'm going to do is an acceleration and braking exercise. So I'll use quite a bit of gas, and I'm going to brake real hard as if an emergency, okay? And then we'll discuss what the car's done. So let's just go for it. So off we go. And brake really hard.
Wow.
Good job. And
I felt like I should have been tapping on the dashboard.
I know what you mean. They're good brakes, aren't they? The main thing I wanted you to notice on here is how the car's kept completely straight. So what's happened is the electronic stability program has balanced the brake pressure on each individual wheel to help keep the car go straight, depending on how much grip there is underneath her. So it's an active system that's always monitoring that. And that's enabled us to go straight. ABS came into play as well, stopped the car from skidding and locking the wheels, so it gives us some control. You may have noticed the hazards were on as well. Yeah. So they came on to warn anybody behind that we were braking as heavily as we were. So the combination of the hazards and the brake lights flashing, according to Mercedes, gives the car behind about an extra car's length distance. So a simple yet such effective system that you're less likely to be rear-ended, you know.
Right,
So
very clever stuff.
very clever, isn't it? You know, and if the car was sensing that it may go into an accident, it may even adjust your seat so you're in a better position for the airbags, because it's an electric seat. It can do that. And if the airbags actually went off, then it would drop the windows a little bit to help disperse the gases from those airbags as well. So there's no end to the technology on this car, you know.
And still, I guess that adds a lot of weight to the car.
Well, you know, they keep on developing the technologies on the car now, so they're getting more modern technology coming on, and materials which help take away a lot of that weight as well. Extensive use of aluminium and so forth, you know. So that's an ever-evolving thing. Let's see if we can. We might nip them to the queue here. So.
And is this the same one we're currently in? Or
No, that's a C63. So it's one size down from what we're in. So this is just a little bit larger, a little bit more luxurious, especially for those guys in the back. So that's good. Excellent. So round we go. So we're going to try and avoid the cones. Okay. So on we go. So you can see how under braking the ABS allows us to steer as well. Crazy, huh?
That was amazing. I honestly didn't think it was going to make it, to be honest.
Well, when I get guests to do that kind of experience, it is at lower speed, but they are sceptical at times, aren't they? And I try and warn them. I tell them, you know, it will be last minute by the time I shout brake, and yet they still don't quite believe me on that one. So that can be quite amusing in itself.
That was pretty good. So he's actually doing.
Yeah, that was a guest driving there in that one. Yeah, for sure. Let's crack on again. Let's see what happens now when we change that surface. So now it's a nice like surface, okay? So what we're going to do to begin with, let's just go down and do an emergency exercise. I'm going to have to limit the speed somewhat on here because we haven't got that much space to play with. That's it. Hard brake. I'm all the way to the floor on the brakes.
Wow. I can feel the seats as well.
And you can see how far we're travelling as well.
Wow.
So, but it's done its job, it's kept us straight.
Yeah.
There you go. So you can see I wasn't lying when it said the seat would adjust, you know? So that's what happens in sheet ice conditions. What we're going to do now on the next run is I'm going to switch off the safety aids. I'm going to give it a little bit of gas when we've got a little bit of steering on as well, and just see what happens to the balance of the car, how that can alter things somewhat. I would never advocate switching the systems off on the road, but here it can be interesting to see the differences there. So it helps us realise what the systems are doing. So systems are going fully off this time, okay? The speed isn't going to be high though because we haven't got that much space to play with. So I wonder, see if he's about to go. Didn't want to disturb him too much. No. We pinched him to the queue once already, so we'll just hang tight here for a moment. So they're doing, I think, pretty much what we're doing. They may put a bit of steering in, so they're demonstrating how they can steer in that environment as well, and potentially get around an obstacle even in those difficult conditions. What I'm going to do is we're going to drive down straight, a little bit of angle on the car, a little bit of gas, and see how again she reacts. Okay, so so that would be an interesting one as well. Okie doke, so down we go. Second gear's a good one. That's a good speed there. A little bit of steering angle. A little bit of gas. Just go back the other way. And then straight as we go. So you can see how I was keeping the balance on the gas and being nimble and quick with the hands meant that we were able then to catch the slide, which is the main thing, you know.
Is that just pure water? Is there some oil on
No,
that?
it's a step further than that. It's actually a special paint. It's in essence a rubber paint that's been coated onto the tarmac. It's called Avatar. That coupled with the water is literally like sheet ice.
Right.
So very, very slippery. Right. Yeah. Very different in that sense. Yeah, they've gone. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Good. So that shouldn't hinder us at all. So round we go. So again, we've lost a little bit of heat in the tyres now, so we always have to bear that in mind as well. And just coax the car through. Always working with the car. That's the main thing. Squeeze it through. Gentle, firm. bend it through. Good look. Keep the vision up nice and high. We'll dab the brakes again, helps tuck her in. And just squeeze it through. Doesn't feel like a big car, does it? You know?
She handles beautiful.
Yeah. Don't know if I already mentioned, but that the engines are hand built, so one person will see the build process from beginning to end. They then get to sign the engine plaque with their name, so you know who to call. You know. So there's a lot of pride, a lot of passion that goes behind the AMG brand. You know, it's not.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Well, I hope you enjoy that. It'll give you a bit of an insight into what the cars are all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I say, next time I want to see you in this driving seat, all right?
Absolutely. That's given me a
An incentive to come back again.
Yeah,
there you go.
Definitely.
And you've got the perfect excuse for the hotel next door and everything. You can make a proper weekend of it, huh?
Absolutely. Just amazed that the car this big can handle.
Oh, this
so well.
And that's the way it feels from the driver's perspective as well. It feels very nimble, very agile, in a way that it doesn't really have the right to, considering the size of it. So yeah, a car for all occasions. Perfect. Good job. Well,
Thank you
enjoy
very
the rest
much.
of your day.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
I don't know if I can actually.
There you go. Take it easy. Time for a cup of tea now, eh? What I was going to say, with the recording, it'll take them about 5-10 minutes just to format it, and there'll be a copy ready for you at the main desk.
At the main desk.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Real pleasure.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. You too.